Planning Development, I'm sitting in for Mr. Clement. It is 6:44 p.m. Ms. Joseph Saul and Mr. Flowers are here. Present. We have two items on the agenda. Might take a little bit of discussion. That's why we allotted for 45 minutes for this meeting. The number one item on the list is the fountain, and Mr. Holmes has some information he'd like to share with us pertaining the fountain.
I've been trying to get some bids on the fountain. I finally went back to Jacobson, who repaired the fountain in 1999 or 2000. That was before I was here. They're from Alabama. He came up and took a look at the fountain, met with Steve Cox and Jane Harmony and Mike Ferrer, and talked about some of the issues with the fountain. He's given us a price of $129,000 to repair the fountain. We're going to take that money out of the, oh gosh.
Betty Johnson.
Thank you. Total blank. Betty Johnson Fund, which has already been appropriated. But the issue is anything over, is it 70 or 75,000?
75,000.
75,000 has to go out to public bid. I would request from the council a waiver of that requirement because
You don't have time.
it's not a question of having time. I can't, it's a specialized service. Not everybody restores fountains.
Okay.
And he's the only one who's been able, that I've reached out to, that has responded to me. He's come up with some new suggestions that I think will make the fountain last longer, but putting it out to bid would be a futile attempt because no one's going to bid on it because it's a very, very specialized field.
I don't think we had multiple bids the last time we renovated it either.
Probably
So
not.
Jared helped pay for that, you remember.
I do remember Baird helping pay for that, but I don't think there were, because I agree. I think it is kind of a niche kind of market.
So I'm not sure if that's done by resolution or by ordinance.
We can ask Mr. Rowe that, and if after we discuss it, I mean, we can discuss it and see if that's something we want to bring forth to council. Can you tell us the process a little bit about what would happen to the fountain if we decided to move forward?
They're gonna pick the fountain up, take it to Alabama, restore it, there's two sections that are completely out. They're gonna remove the what are they, goat's head, ram's head, whatever.
Yes. Mercedes.
Yeah, they're gonna remove all that, and we're going to overflow kind of thing,
Okay.
where it cascades down.
Okay.
And those items that have been a concern because they get clogged up, the overflow is gonna look much, much better,
Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna paint it white.
Especially if you light it.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that more closely related to the way it used to be? Was Cascade?
I think it was. I think it was.
Because I think that's our
And
logo.
originally, if you go back through and find old pictures of it, it originally had angels on it.
Okay.
So
But did it cascade over?
I think it did.
I don't remember if it cascaded, but instead of the ram's heads, and there was angels and stuff on it.
Right, there were angels and it came out of that.
Oh, it came out of the angel?
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, not having anything there is gonna be much easier to maintain. And Mr. Farrar was very helpful because he he's the one that has to take care of it. And so he knows it inside and out. And
Do you mean Mr. Freer?
Freer,
Yeah.
that
Talking about
what I call it.
Yeah.
Ferrara?
Freer,
It's for,
Mike Freer.
Mike
Sorry, I apologize, Mike. All right.
He was
But anyway, we had a very good discussion, and Luke is the one that did this 2020, actually about 25, 26 years ago. So he's very familiar with that fountain.
So they're gonna pick the fountain up and we're gonna get that original fountain back, just redone.
Redone, yeah.
Perfect.
But if it is an ordinance, then I would recommend that we do it under emergency because we're fighting the winter. We need to get it down to Alabama, let them sandblast it, work on it, and then get it back to us in the spring. So I don't know if it's an ordinance or resolution or
Okay.
something. you want.
Yeah, if it's a resolution, it'll be one reading. If it has to be an ordinance, yeah, we can discuss the.
Can we
the
spend money with the
emergency.
resolution?
Yes, because the money has already been appropriated. So if the money needed to be appropriated from.
By Baird.
No, if.
Is this a Baird thing?
No, this money this is the Betty Johnson Fund, which was for the beautification of the city. And, I think she would be delighted.
Then why was Cox and, Harmony involved?
Well, it's kind of their baby, and, we didn't know that we've had a joint meeting, and so I've gone out and found a person to fix it.
Oh.
And they maintain it.
I know they do, I know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't being negative about that.
No,
I just,
no.
that was my assumption that the Baird Foundation was involved in this, and that's why I said what I
Right.
said.
Yeah.
Baird covers all the costs.
I know they do.
Maintenance.
Yeah.
They call us and say, hey, we need the fountain turned on, and at the end of the year, shut the water off the fountain.
Yeah,
So I do know that there is a leak in the bowl being where the water is, and that's a whole separate issue that we're gonna work on. Because I think, Mr. Cohen has a, name of a company that helped find the leak in the pool.
aren't they taking the whole bowl and everything?
No, I think they're just taking the fountain. I
The
don't think
bowl's
they're taking-
concrete. It's.
Oh, around the.
Yeah, the
Oh,
pool,
okay.
they're like the
pool.
fences on.
Yeah, it's
Is-
the
is-
pool.
That's all concrete, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So what will happen to the fences, because the fences, we've got two pieces that are missing there.
They're gonna recast it.
Okay, all right. So it'll be a whole new piece of metal, because the other one is probably pretty well deteriorated at this point. then. Okay.
Yeah, it was in bad shape.
This is a great idea.
So the new casting is great. So, and that will last longer. So that's awesome. So, all right. So do you have anything else about that, Mr. Holmes, before we
I do
discuss that?
not.
Okay. So how do we feel about, sending the, first of all, how do we feel about redoing the fountain?
I strongly advocate for it, I do.
Do we have
Citizens
any,
advocate too.
do we have any, discussion on the change of the style from how it's kind of spraying out versus a cascading?
Well, I think that cascading would be a lot nicer because if you light it properly, it'll be beautiful in the winter. If you could get it running in the winter, but not only, but in the evening, you can get it, it'd be pretty, it'd be real pretty. It'd be something to showcase.
Okay. And then,
Is that a feature that's going to like reduce the amount of water that the fountain uses over time?
that is a good point. I don't know.
Is what- is
That
what-
actually-
I
not
assumed,
nice.
what, I was wondering if it was going to like reduce the amount of
The
water
cascading?
that's flowing through the
Oh,
fountain.
well, I bet you it does because
Me too.
now it's just like a steady, you turn on
True,
the
you
faucet.
have to have more pressure to
Yeah,
do
I bet, that's a good point.
what it does now.
We're really
But
trying
then again, I don't
to
know.
simplify the operation to where and not simplify it to where it's easy to maintain and it looks nice.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know,
I like easy to maintain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Fred, you guys, I sit on the foundation board for Appalachian Ohio. And we also, if something is to get turned around and you need additional funding, I'm sure if you brought that project we meet once a month, and I'll be glad to give Fred that information, that the board that I sit on would be more.
That's a great
than-
idea, Betty Jo.
would
That's a
be more
great
than
idea.
pleased to be part
Yeah.
of the renovations of it.
That's a great idea.
So I think that's a great idea too, if you actually, ask Betty Jo if she'll submit that, and if they are willing to, put some funds towards it as well, I think, because their fund is specifically for betterment of the community as well, Nelsonville, so, and then that,
And that's what Rockies is for too, that RF.
the Rocky Community Improvement. Yeah.
I hate to do this, but can I add an item to your agenda?
Yeah, maybe. So, okay, I think we're on board with that and the design change. I think that the use of the Betty Johnson Fund, in my opinion, is a good use of those funds. I'm okay with, foregoing the bid process too, bringing that before council. I think you're right, Mr. Holmes. I think that's, there's not a lot of companies that do that type of work, so.
Special niche.
Yeah, and they're probably all down south, to be honest, so there's, that's probably where we're going to Alabama, so. So yeah, I think, I'm okay with that, so for me, I'll make the motion to, put that forth to, full council, whether that be a resolution or an ordinance with, the suspension of the rules.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, all right, so that sounds good. And you have another item there, Mr. Holmes?
The monument down on the east end of town by Fred Wolf Motors. We had removed, but I have a gentleman in Logan who's going to be putting up a new monument. Similar style. It's gonna be a little larger because we're gonna incorporate the tile from Hocking College into it. And again, we're gonna use the Betty Johnson funds for that. So, and Jason and I are gonna be working with Mike.
Greer.
No,
Good, I was gonna say it too,
No,
I
Betty.
don't remember his last name.
I know, I have it written down. But anyway, it's gonna look really nice, and the bricks that we took out of there, I appreciate Jason's crew taking it down. They were not historic bricks. And it wasn't, we talked about just pushing it up. No. We're gonna do it, let's take it down, let's pour pad, let's do it right, so it looks nice.
Okay.
Okay,
And I brought up to Fred this morning when I was down there with Michael Betts looking at storm sewers. There's a telephone pole right there. I think it would be in our best interest to put it on the other side of the
I do
telephone
too.
pole, so that way you can see it when
I
you're
do too.
coming
So
out.
that'd be nice.
You're gonna face it front forward, aren't you?
Yes,
Instead of sideways like it was. Right.
yeah, that's how you talked about, was churning it, where it was sitting this way,
oh,
turn it
okay,
this way,
okay.
with the inlay in it, so you can see the brick.
Yes.
Coming into town.
So when you
Yes.
come into
Yeah.
town, you're
Yeah.
looking at it.
Are you gonna put any signage? Welcome to Nelsonville.
Hadn't thought about it, but I guess.
I think we should, if you're gonna go, you might as well go and put some signing, welcome to
You
Nelsonville,
might consider lighting it up at night too, specifically.
and have a band out there with whistle.
I mean, we're gonna have a band, let's have a party.
Get a
You
cake.
know, you want-
What about like a topper on it? Like, almost like a marble or something? And
Like a capstone?
Have you looked,
and where they put in that, welcome to Nelsonville or something?
Yep.
have you looked at the, monument that's at this direction coming into town? It's on where the grass starts, that the city keeps cut. From the entryway, just down the street.
At the roundabout?
From where you live, no, on down into town. Right here is Ralph.
Oh, it's
I
like
know,
Methodist
I know.
church.
Yeah, I know where you're.
I'm talking about Joe Edwards paid Phillips from over at Carbon Hill, and that isn't their right name. He and his son redid that. You'll have to go, yes, Greg, you'll have to go up there and look at that. I can't remember now what it's in honor of, but it's in honor of something, and that would give you the option of, maybe you want to consider doing something.
Pretty sure there's a
You're talking
big
about
plaque.
the canal monument, the canal monument at the end of like
And
Washington.
you're
or
talking
not
about
the
up
end of
on the
Washington.
bank, right? I'm talking about down here.
Mm-mm.
in
No,
this-
I'm not talking about up on the bank, I'm talking about like,
Street level.
at street level,
Okay.
at where one of the streets comes
Right.
into a point in front of the building that has the lit up, sign with Hocking College
Yeah,
information.
yeah, I know where you're.
Right,
Is
you're
that
right,
what-
babe, you're in the right location.
Is that
It's
the
just-
monument?
Yes, and it
Okay.
is the canal. I
I
couldn't
think it
think
is to
of.
the canal, yeah.
Right.
Well, Mr. Cohen and I will get together with the gentleman out in Logan, we'll make sure all those changes are, and we'll look at a sign.
The people from Alabama, I wrote for the paper at that time, and they were wonderful. I mean, they took care of that fountain. They understood what it meant to us. Plus, the garden club had that erected and the concrete poured years ago. I've got a little book that has a story in it about it. I'll look for it and see that Greg gets a copy of it.
Do you need action from council on any of that, or you're?
No.
Okay, perfect, all right, no worries.
No, I'll let Fred take care of it. I'll just make the contact if that's okay with you.
Okay, all right, last item on the agenda, probably some of the most discussion we'll have over the next 15 minutes is DORA. So,
Here's the application. I'm planning on bringing it to city council next Monday,
okay,
okay?
Jesus.
I went through and made some minor changes to it. What I'm gonna do this week is get the name of, the qualifying permit holders and the nature of establishment, the street address, name of business, and type of business, all that. I'll have that by Monday.
Do we know how you're gonna section it off?
Yes, sir.
Is it certain days of the week?
I think it's 7 days a week.
yeah, so it
Do we
can,
need to revisit the Sunday sales ordinance then?
That's another thing.
Beer every.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 7 days a
Is
week.
is it only gonna be
So
for beer?
I don't know if you can do mixed drinks with it, so.
In Athens you can, but I don't know
Well,
if that's
and I
specific to
was-
the
I was
person's
up in,
application.
Like on Wycombe and town, something on Mansfield. It's east of Mansfield, but they do DORA.
Oh, Worcester?
Worcester. And I went up there and stayed for a weekend, and I talked to some of the bar owners, and this was 3 years ago. I talked to some of the bar owners, they absolutely love it. They don't have issues, they have a pavilion in the middle of town, they have bands Friday and Saturday there.
Mhm.
People bring their chairs. What you get, and I brought one of the cups back with me, I got them to give me one. It says DORA on it, and it's got like the logo. And there's a spot on it, so when you get DORA, they write the date on the cup, so you can't just, and you can go to a bar, you get your cup filled up, and you go back out, and that way people aren't walking around with bottles. It's just little plastic, they look like solo cups, but they're clear. But they said it's one of the best things that ever happened.
yeah, in Lancaster, every weekend in Lancaster during the summertime is just jam packed down there in their downtown area. They actually block off a street. They don't have a square like we would that we could block off, but you know, they've got, you know, that main street and they have bands and stuff
Logan's
there.
got DORA also.
Dora does, they do have in Logan as well.
Anytime something's going on, on the main drag, and it's closed down.
How do you
They got
stop
DORA.
people from refilling their own cups out of their vehicle? How do you stop people from,
I mean,
how do you stop people from underage kids getting their cups and walking around drinking once they get it?
Well, because,
There's
I
a
mean,
designated area that this is in.
I know, but I mean, you can still park your vehicles in there.
and
You can
PD will
have
still
coolers, right?
patrol. PD will still patrol, I mean, they'll be watching, they can ask you walking down the street, if somebody's got a cup, they can say, hey, we need to see the license. You know, it's,
yeah, most of the people that I've seen in like Lancaster have been families. So if there's kids there,
No, I'm for it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
there with,
precautions.
and I'm gonna tell you that some kids probably gonna try to get away with it,
Well,
right?
and then
But
some people are gonna be pouring their hooch whiskey or
the
whatever.
kids are gonna be, well, because you're not gonna be able to park, if they have an event on the square and doors
You're
taking
not gonna be
place,
able to park.
you're not gonna be able to park there, so.
That's the.
So
yeah.
you're gonna be, you know, it'll be like other events that are downtown, you know, it'll be blocked off, it'll be more of an event type thing. I don't think that when we discussed it originally, we weren't looking to have DORA like just 24/7 all the time down there, you know, it was gonna be during for events and, you know, when they had like Final Fridays, if there's something like that. I know there's they do a Saturday sidewalk sales and stuff like that. So if there's events and they want to file for the permit with the city on it to make it a DORA event, you know, they can do that. There's a festival next October, you know, that's planning on being on the square, that they're gonna want that to be a DORA event. So, and I think that it could go back to, like, the Opera House had grants for the bands during the
Those are
summertime.
nice.
So, yeah, those are nice. So if we can get back into something like that, I think it's family fun. You know, Marietta Brewing had a cart down there, so it wasn't a lot of kids, you know.
But I don't think 24/7, I don't think 7 days a week should be it, because are you gonna have to close the square off 7 days a week to have a DORA event?
I just think that means that it's available any day of the week. I think you're gonna have to do some paperwork to, like, hey, I'm having an event, it's gonna be a DORA event kind of thing. I don't think we're just not gonna block off the street every day. Yeah.
Well, what's the details of the application? Cause like the places like Worcester and Athens that I've been to, it's that bars have certain cups that are strictly used for DORA.
Right, we're gonna have to order cups.
And they're usually clear, the ones that I've seen.
Or like aluminum kind.
We have a question in the back.
It's about the cups,
Yes.
and it's a small thing,
Mhm.
but if we're expecting all these people, is there any way we can make sure that they're disposable cups?
Yeah.
They have clear ones that are disposable.
Yep.
You know, biodegradable is
Yeah.
what I truly
Mhm.
mean.
Oh, biodegradable.
I mean biodegradable,
Yeah, the
because you might as well get everything good going on.
Start off on the right
I like
foot.
that.
Yep.
Like I
So-
said, there used to be one from Worcester.
So if, just one more thought, because I'm like you, I'll forget it. I already forgot. No. So do we have to buy the cups, or does the business that applied for the
Those are details we're gonna work out.
So there is an expense, so somebody has to be in charge of the cups. We did talk about that one point, I think, Jason, if I recall. Was it the chamber?
3 years ago, I believe it was the chamber was gonna buy them. And then the businesses would buy them.
Marcy Wagner came and presented that before council. I mean, she really has all that information. I'm sure she would, you know, meet with any of you and be happy to, but she was very well informed.
We've already got all the boundary signs. Yeah.
Oh, you did?
We've had them since.
Where's that one? Is that run up an alley, behind, does that run up an alley behind Rocky Boot?
Oh,
That runs
yeah,
up-
it includes a Rocky Boot.
I know, but does it run up an alley right there? Where
There
it
is
cuts,
an alley
where
right there.
it cuts behind
It's a
Rocky Boot,
street.
and does it,
Myers?
it's going east? Yeah, down
Towards
Myers
the
Street.
It includes the train depot. And,
Right, Rocky.
no,
Right, it does.
Marriotti's too far down.
No, yeah, you're right.
The-
Black Diamond.
Is that an alley there?
Black
Because there's
Diamond.
an alley right beside, there's an alley right beside, Rocky Boot, and then it runs up the alley.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, or is that, that's that street that comes, that's,
Isn't that North?
this is
Street,
Monroe
John?
Street, isn't it?
Monroe here?
No,
it doesn't go that far
Go
over.
down as far as Monroe.
Is that Monroe?
Right.
Oh, okay, so that's that alley that runs right behind.
You're talking about Faro
Right,
Street.
yes.
And then it goes down the
Right.
alley.
That's privately owned by Anita and them.
Yes, exactly.
So it goes down that alley.
Yes.
Cuts through, goes right behind the building, so they're all.
Right.
So everybody would be
And
included.
then it goes down, is that Franklin right there?
I think it's called North Street.
Franklin's right there.
Goes across like
Yes.
the old
I
gas
think so,
station.
yeah. North Street,
Cuts
you're right.
back up
Gotcha.
and goes up.
From
Well,
Myers,
that's,
right?
Yeah.
that's a good area. Yeah, that's a good area. Yeah, yeah, that is.
Can I ask?
And it would include everything but the Alps. And the Alps can't be included because it's.
Yeah.
Can their events be included? Like if they have the, like they eat during the Parade of the
I
Hills?
know, but it's private still during the Parade of the Hills.
Yeah.
You got to be a member or with a member.
The only time that it wasn't, and haven't done it, like 7 years, is when they did the beer garden.
That's what I'm talking about.
They said they're not doing it.
I know, I talked to, Smart, Rick Smart. He said that he would be interested in getting involved in a DORA. Because they're gonna do something right beside where they took that building down. I don't know any
They were supposed to
particular,
put like a,
they said they were gonna put the beer garden there, yeah. They
If
said-
if it's something that's available to all the public, I'm
if
sure
it's
they
open
can
to the
participate.
public, I'm sure it can be worked in, but as long as it's private, they can't.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
The only thing that's missing, he's got all the signs, the boundary signs. We need decals made up saying, door beverage welcome, door beverage not welcome, that type of thing. And that's easy to do, we can get that made locally, because once I present it to council, it has to sit for 30 days. Or it has to, it has to be advertised. and all
Sure.
that kind of thing. But once I get the name of the businesses and the addresses, there should be there's nothing else to do. It's time to submit to council.
And then, so maybe my thought is maybe work with somebody more artistic than myself to maybe create that logo or brand, if you will, for the stickers, as well as maybe for the cups, kind of keep that, same branding flowing through, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And just maybe come up with a neat,
Why don't we sell advertising on the cups?
you probably don't have enough room, like really, for that, but I mean, the chamber might, I don't know, they might be able to do something, if they're gonna be in charge of the cups, because you'll have to buy, the establishments will have to buy the cups from
Well, they can put
the
a
chamber.
Yeah.
Isn't this
You know what I
considered
mean?
like?
So-
Would it just cover beer or
Great, we'll do a
wine
little.
and mixed beverages?
Hold on a second. It covers,
Yeah, DORA doesn't either.
it would allow such establishments to serve alcohol beverages and 16-ounce cup plastic
Very
cups.
nice. The sign is great.
Well, that looks really nice.
So these,
It looks
just so you
good.
guys can see, these are the signs,
It just
Then I had made
says,
that in- 22.
alcoholic beverages. It
It
doesn't specify what kind.
So-
They got the right
Nice.
color.
Okay, so it doesn't necessarily mean that we have to look at, Sunday sales,
Nice.
although we should. I think there are some businesses that would be interested in that if it was legal
Right.
within our city. But
Nice.
it sounds like whatever you have a license for on a given day, you can sell during business hours to 16 ounce.
The main difference here is that without this, like at the Opera House, you would have to have a fenced off area.
Right.
The
Okay,
mine would have to have a fenced off area.
Kind of like a patio.
Where
Yeah.
You could not leave the patio. Here, you can either go to the Opera House or you can go to the mine, and you can walk within that
Parameter.
parameter.
Yeah.
So you could, what's the,
Don't look at me, how old are you?
across from the
Black
railroad,
diamond.
the
Black
Black
Diamond.
Diamond, yeah. You could go from the Black Diamond all the way, all around the square and all around the businesses. So that's, but the signs designate the area.
Mhm.
And I think once we're into it for, let's say, 6 months, everyone's gonna know,
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that design is gonna be really good.
Yeah,
for,
that's nice.
Like
That's really nice.
replicating on the cups and on those, stickers that you're talking about.
You need to put a little bit on the streets. A corner. Wouldn't be ugly.
okay.
What is it you're gonna do?
Shit.
A sign.
Okay.
They just shoot down already. You see that?
Yeah, that's okay. Don't think.
Okay. Well,
I like that.
I'm glad that I'm glad we're at this point now, and we can get this moving forward, so.
Yeah.
You
There's
said
no
something about October, is,
Next October, there's gonna be a festival in Nelsonville, yeah.
oh, really?
Mhm.
What is it?
Yep.
The October coming up.
Not this October, next October, it'll be next October.
Is that Bigfoot thing?
Yeah.
I saw that, and somebody was showing it to me at the bank, it's on the calendar.
Yeah,
Here in Nelsonville?
yeah, it's gonna be pretty awesome, I think. So it's gonna be big. So, okay, so I'm excited for that. I think that DORA will allow and also encourage other folks to, in the community that, to do more events or, get some things started again as far as maybe some bands and, summer, you know, fun with family and.
They used to do that smoked meat festival. That would be a great
That would
thing to
be-
get
That'd be
back,
great, yeah.
especially with Dora.
Mhm.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
so I know that the college used to do the fire and ice. That'd be a great winter one. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so much that could.
That fire and ice was probably the best thing I've ever seen done in my life.
It was really cool. It's really cool. They did all the culinary things, the carving.
I was
Oh,
competitions.
cool.
I was working at Attitudes, and
Okay.
the guy carved out a piece of ice in the shape of a scissor.
Oh, cool.
Right in front of the business.
Yeah.
Logan still does that. Logan, they still have what's called, is it fire and ice?
Do they really?
Their ice sculpture festival thing.
Yes.
and ice.
Yeah, I don't know what it's
Is that what
called,
it's
but
called?
we walked up there this past year and went up, walked around, looked at it, and we had lunch downtown. It was pretty neat. Sculptures everywhere, and they're sponsored by different businesses.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
All right, so, to finalize then, I don't know if you need anything from us, Mr. Holmes, but I'll make it anyway. I'll make a motion that you please bring that forward to, full council.
It will be there Monday night.
Second, all right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, okay. At, that point, 7:15, we will adjourn the Planning and Development Committee. So, awesome, thank you, thank you.
I thought this was streets.
No, I'm planning and development. I think I almost said street, to be honest. All right.